All right, guys, welcome to the top 8 portion of the Battle Hardened Hong Kong PTI event. All right, in first seed, we have Manhung playing Phi with 5 wins. Second, we have Blue Pitches Kaiser Wong piloting Icelander with 4 wins. Third seed, we have Alan Lau playing Dash. We just saw him on camera. Fourth seed, we have Kelvin Law from Team Gold, piloting Dash. Fifth, we have Jack Tang, who we saw lose round 1, which means he submarined and came back in with his Reinhardt, 4 wins. Sixth place, we have Dixon, who won the event yesterday, actually. Today he's playing Briar instead of Dash. Seventh seed, we have Wu Zilong playing Dromai. And rounding things off, another Blue Pitch member, Sheng Tang, piloting Dash, which means 2, 3, 5, and 8 are Blue Pitch, which means there's a potential for all 4 of them to make the semifinals. So yeah, just as a recap, 1 Phi, 1 Icelander, 3 Dash, a Reinhardt, a Briar, and a Dromai. Pretty diverse field, actually, other than you know, Dash being
3 Dash,
being Dash, right? And we saw Dash on camera several times, and Dash did well on all the games that we saw
every time.
All right, so let's just jump into it. Let's jump into our quarterfinal match. Our quarterfinal match will be it's going to be Alan again against Dixon playing Briar. So
nice.
Top 16 in the world versus the Battle Hardened winner. Dash versus Briar. Let's see if you can exempl Exodia, or are we going with a different plan? All right, let's just jump into that.
Finally get a channel Mount Heroic.
Yeah, let's see if we can do that. All right, let's go. All right, guys, welcome to the quarterfinals. On our left, world's top 16 competitor, Alan Lau, winner of many, many ProQuests and many, many Road to Nationals, one of the strongest players in the whole world. On his challenger is Dixon, the guy that took down the whole PTI tournament yesterday, and he played Dash to do it. So Dixon will be acutely aware of all the possibilities in Alan's deck. Although he may not have seen this hyperdriver shenanigans that I think we're going to see again, Nathan.
Yep, I just got done saying that this strategy would not work against Briar, and I have a feeling that Alan's about to make me eat my words.
Yep. I am so ready to learn more about this hyperdriver mechanoid Dash. All right, Dash is the higher seed, opting to go first.
Now, he did favor to keep a card. I think that's very important, where he could have ditched that into the pistol as well, but he decided to keep it. So I think that's very important.
So there's 2 cards, or sorry, 1 card that he really likes. Redrawing 3 cards there. All right. So let's throw you into the deep end as Briar. You're across from Alan Lau, and you see him flip over Visitronic and Hyperdriver. What do you do?
I would.
Is this a 7 block from you here, or from the Dash here? Because this smells like Razor.
It does, but at the same time, like, I mean,
he has a sync below here.
Yeah, Briar can just get those bad hands, and that might just be the best play.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
And unfortunately, in a matchup like this, that can literally be game losing, because you went second, but literally gained no advantage from it.
And Hyperdriver number 2 already in play on turn effectively 1 for Alan.
Yep. So he bought full tempo for 1 block in armor is basically that turn cycle.
Yep. All right. So getting back to the question. So you sit across from Alan now, and he has 2 Hyperdrivers in play. What do you do?
Yeah, I would not fatigue because I would be
Right.
so unfamiliar with the strategy that I wouldn't be aware of like how I could fatigue it. So I would just go all gas and then just try to race
I
because I
don't
wouldn't
think there's
know.
any way you can fatigue, right? If you give him that much time
Right, he'll just high octane you and
and,
get you.
get you for like 40 there, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Hmm.
It looks like we
Yeah,
had.
you know,
I
this is giving
mean,
me flashbacks of like Combo Bolton a little bit here. This is kind of up my alley. All right, what were you gonna say?
I was kind of curious at like.
By the way, this is not the Briar we saw in round 1 and round 2. That was Rex. This is Dixon.
Right,
So
and I
did
do
Mhm.
understand the play that he made because I would have normally suggested that on the previous play he would make a rune chant
Right.
to get rid of what he clearly didn't want,
Hmm.
and then be able to filter that way
Right.
along with the snatch.
Hmm.
But I saw what he tried to do. He tried to entice Alan into presenting damage, which he would take, so it would turn on his scar. But Alan countered that by just slapping down the item,
Hmm.
which was
Mm.
perfect.
Well, this is 3 hyperdrivers in 3 turns, or in 2 turns. Uh, uh,
I don't know what's going on with
I
these
don't.
Briar hands, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you
E
need to
strike
put a
for
lot.
5 is definitely better than make a rune chant.
Yep.
And then it cokes. Okay. So it
Okay.
looks like the Briar hands are not working out.
Mhm.
They're just
A block of the
not
heart
having go again.
indicating that there's a reason that he blocked with the armor there.
Yep.
I think it's mecha time. 0 to 60, the correct starter here.
Oh
Gonna.
no, he can't play it now.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Well, I guess
Can't.
he could pop boots.
No, he can't. He needs that to
Oh yeah,
assemble
he
his
needs
mech,
them.
right?
Yeah, that's he can't. He gotta hold off another
Oh
turn.
man, what a tease. What a tease. He was
That's
so
it.
ready to point at hyperdriver, hyperdriver, hyperdriver. Wait, didn't he have to take the counters off the hyperdrivers anyways? Because he
This
boosted?
is the second time he's double pitched reds to do nothing. These Briar hands are just not.
Yep. I mean, 7 and a rune chant is not where you want to be here.
And that's also why I've came off of Coax of Commotion in my Briar list specifically, is I found that I was just having too many hands with no go again.
Yep.
So I leveraged into yellow rabbles, and so far it has just been fantastic. Sometimes they hit blue and they suck, but just being able to nimblism or bramble into a rabble and just always have go again. But here's our mech, and it's go time.
Okay. I feel like hyperdriver is a must. When you boost, you must remove a steam counter. So even though he
Right.
failed his boost, I think he still had to remove the steam counters from the.
He did. Yep.
He did? Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right, so here we go. Alan explaining to opponent number 2 how it
We
works.
were so the arm piece, I believe if it is a material underneath
Yeah, that's what
a
you
piece
boost
of
last.
equipment, it gives it +1.
Yep. So
attack.
6 is a
So,
6 damage?
yeah, it's been coming in for 6 this whole time, not 5.
Yeah, and you would definitely boost that, not boost, but banish that last from the mech. Yep.
Of course. Of course.
Mhm.
And now you just play a mid-range value game and kill him with Octane. So
Yep.
like Dash is because I mean the Briar hands have been just atrocious, but
Mhm.
see this still isn't that good. Like the
Double
scar
scar.
doesn't go again.
Yep, it's wasting 2 cards here.
And he has an E strike in his hand, so I would much rather prefer just E strike go again and then scar at the end. But not 100% sure what the game plan is here.
Mhm. I guess he did have Gogan. Why did he have Gogan there?
He should not have, right? Because it was
I don't
at
think
31.
so.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, they just now realized that. So the Briar player ended with 2 cards in hand.
Mhm.
And then here's the high octane to
Oh
end the game.
boy.
Yep. So this is
Oh
a quick one.
boy. This is
This is
a
going to be
mega high roll
yeah, it's
here.
going to be 30 something. Yep, this is going to be 30 something to close it.
And we can tell that Alan has done this before, moving with precision and purpose here. And Mech gonna make this Briar very, very sad here. Big burst turn there, taking the life lead. Once you're down on life, the wall's sort of. I guess he has enough life to have one more turn, right?
Yeah, but like, I mean, the mech's still out there. It still has charges and
You
like,
can block
you
for
know,
5 and then 4 and then 3.
yeah, like, I mean, I don't know. You're never getting another embodiment for the next 3 turns. So like, I don't know how you pivot this. Like literally, you just tick that die up and stop embodiments. Like it's insane.
Yep.
Yep. And so how do you overcome that? And now the aggro dash strategy that he's pivoted to, you just don't.
Yep.
So even a CMH, which I think he has it in his hand now, but it's just too late. Like there's no combination of cards that puts you back in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're probably going to drop into the low single digits here, and then you might even have to give a card here.
Yeah, anytime I talk to somebody about playing Briar, it's anytime you're at 12 life or lower, CMH is a blocking card.
Mm-hmm.
It is nothing more. It is something that you are just blocking because the math doesn't make sense to play it out. In this situation right here with him at 5, he's going to play 7 go again, 7 go again at best, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to arsenal a card and then have to block with his entire hand. So you've effectively just... I mean, all you've done is you've basically paid for an expensive nimblism because all you've gotten is 2 pumps out of it.
Yep.
And so you really you need one of the uses I would use for coaxive commotion was the gain a life trigger on the hit to provide more of a runway to get more time to establish a CMH.
Mm-hmm.
Is one of the reasons that you have to value that runway so much when playing Briar.
Yep.
And also the order of this turn was a little off. He should have fused the Bramble Spark with the Earth card he pitched. I don't believe he did.
Yep. So that was missing some damage there.
Yeah. So, but I think it's just him realizing that the game's already over.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, he did get like this was,
it was
as fast as it gets in terms of assembling.
Hyperdriver every single turn, and then he missed on the 1, so it was one turn slower than its absolute fastest.
Yep.
But like I said here, at 5 life, with little armor, he's got 1 block on the armor. He's gonna have to give up the whole hand, and he's not gonna get any pump out of CMH, unfortunately.
Yep. If your CMH only gives +3 to 2 attacks, that's not worth it because that's 2 cards for 6. You need that to be giving +9, +12.
Yeah, 3 cards is the minimum.
Yep.
Because you can't even say it's double nimblism, right? Well, no, because double nimblism gives go again, so that's a value of 7.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even worse than that.
Yep. And Alan's setting up a arsenal card, meaning the next turn is going to have enough burst to end the game here. 2 cards, not going to threaten enough damage here. He might not even have an attack in his... Oh, he does have an attack. Okay. All right, this has Quicken, but this mech plus a couple cards going to shut this down.
I'm not understanding the point of keeping the blue, but...
For the rune chant, I'm not sure.
But it could have blocked for 3, but instead it presented 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not familiar.
Maybe just in case the Briar player got in with the snatch.
In what world does that happen with channel mount out?
It definitely is not happening against somebody of Alan's caliber.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a misassessment of your opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Briar
And
knows what's happening here, and yep, he just
yep.
scoops.
All right. Well, that was a really, really quick game. All right. Speed
Yeah, that
running
was.
here. All right, let's jump back to our cameras. All right, guys. We just saw Exodia Dash win another game. What can stop Exodia Dash, Nathan?
I think it's Briar, but but it has to be a
But
Briar
not
that
not
doesn't.
a Briar that draws like that.
Yeah, it can't be one that bricks the first three hands of the game. Although there were some choices that could have mitigated the damage of those bricks and prevent them from keep bricking.
Mm-hmm.
However, with that being said, we finally got a Channel Mount Heroic, but it wasn't the one that we wanted, and I think that's where the game ultimately boiled down. Other than Alan just absolutely high rolling.
Yep.
No other way to put it. Sometimes those happen in games, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted every game to be the same, we would all be playing chess, but we play card games, so that happens.
Sure. All right. Time to hop over to the other side of the bracket to watch a semifinal game between Man playing Phi and number one by XP, Kelvin Law piloting Dash. Dash
Or
versus
Dash.
Phi. I bet this is going to be a really quick game too.
There you go.
All right, let's just jump into the semifinals now. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to the semifinals of the Hong Kong Battle Hardened PTI event. On your left, none other than Kelvin Law himself piloting Dash. His challenger, Mr. Manhung, one of the most talented ninja players in Hong Kong, piloting Phi. I expect this to be a blazing fast game of two swords fighting each other, don't you think?
Yep, that's what I would guess.
There we go. Yep.
And there
Pounder
it is.
Talisher. Here we go. All right. And the Phi player knows this is going to be so fast. That is a blossom of spring there. This could be
Blossom. Okay.
This could be a 3-turn game.
Yeah, he's going all in. When you flip over Blossom, you're basically saying I'm all in on the combo.
Yep.
And I'm just waiting for my first Art of War, Spreading Flames, and going in.
Yep. All right. Kelvin is
good open.
Of note, Kelvin is the lower seeded player. Manhung was actually first after Swiss. So Man elected for Dash to go first, and that's a really, really I mean, it's kind of a gamble, right?
Yeah, I think it's
first.
Correct, but it's risky, and
It's
the
risky,
reason it's risky is what
this.
just happened.
Yep.
Yeah, because he basically got 6 damage for free is
Yep.
effectively what happened, and so now Dash has the capability to sit there and like block a little bit, boost a card for 10, block a little bit, boost a card for 10, and just eke out enough value, and then just put on the gas.
Yep.
If they need to, or she can just put full on the gas and just race now because she's definitely at advantage because she just has 12 damage sitting on the board turn 1.
That's a double strike being pitched, right? So he got a blue to fix his hand here. He has a lava burst in hand, so okay, there we go. Oh no, maybe not. Oh, they're still on the belittle. Oh, the belittle. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
Kelvin,
definitely not gonna block when he showed him a mounting anger. So
yep. All right, Kelvin taking 3 there. Mounting anger pitching the Minnowism. So we're gonna probably see a sword swing. I'm not sure if he has enough resources for the lava burst.
yeah, it'll
Oh
be.
yeah, he does.
So
Yep.
Yeah, if this hits, he'll banish the lava burst.
Yep.
And then he'll sword swing, which has go again, and then rupture happens on the 4th chain link, and it does count itself. So he'll play the lava burst for 6.
Yep. Seems good. All right, so
So I mean, 16
going
damage
second,
turn 1. That's not bad.
Going second means you're 16 damage ahead, but your opponent has an arsenal card plus a pounder. So
yes. So explain to me, why does HK players not utilize the predetermined zones on their playmat? Please explain that to me. There's stuff everywhere.
Yeah, and Kelvin plays with the equipment on the right. Yep, and his
Yeah,
deck falling
like,
off the board. Yep. I
and
don't
just
know.
Arsenal in the head
We
slot. Like,
we make our own rules. We
hey,
make our own rules.
I respect it. I
Like
respect
Pudding plays with his two Kadachis to the left of his hero
it. That's so funny.
instead of his hero in the middle. I play with my equipment in a square in the corner. Our Dromai
Zipper hit
player
for
was
9.
playing with like half the play mat.
Yeah, they do what they want.
I heard Zipper hit for 9 is good.
Yeah, it's not the worst, especially when you got 2 floating and 3 cards in hand.
Yep. He did boost some max velocity there, though.
Nah, he don't need it.
Yeah, he doesn't need 3 of them. Spark of Genius here. Does this must be an Achilles break here, right? Has to be, right?
You'll
With 2
know
cards left?
on. It depends on if he pays into it. Okay, yeah. So if it's a Techo core, he definitely will Achilles here. But if he were to pitch another blue into Pounder,
Triple Pounder setup.
which would be, I think core is way better. But because he'll definitely rip a card here. So
Another reason why I think Manhung is running the Blossom is because he's going second. It's like one turn where he may not have his
right.
Tudyk. Yep. And another thing is you also, because in theory if they attack you, you get to filter 4 more cards deep. So you're deeper to find the Art of War.
He's playing on his opponent's play mat when it's 5.
Oh,
He's definitely gonna need that. He's definitely gonna... Oh, that's asserting dominance I've ever seen.
Yeah, look at him. He's like, no, I'm not gonna put my hero. No, I'm gonna put my hero on the combat chain. Command and conquer this. He's like, let me show you my exude confidence. Let me show you. All right, so no Achilles break yet, but he has 3 cards, 2 floating. I feel like you have to, right? Or you just lose too much value here, right?
Unless like every card in your hand's blue. But then again, like if every card in your hand's blue, the next turn, also every card in your hand will be blue.
Like
So...
you got to consider that you want to get 3 Teleshar activations as well, right?
Right.
Before the game ends.
Yeah, definitely gotta give him up here for sure.
I'd love to see Manhung when he starts his combat chain, like push Kelvin Law's cards back a bit. He won't do that. He's a very nice kid, but that'd be so funny. It's like, I need this combat chain. Move. Oh, man. All right, Achilles accelerated break here. All right, now what? Goliath Gauntlet? Nope. Heart of... Tickle Heart. All right.
Oh, what do we need resources for? We already got a lot.
Yeah, I guess maybe he just needed 1 extra for the...
Big boy coming.
He wants a Teleshar with the...
Combustible, maybe? Yep, throttle.
Throttle for 8 here. Nope, for 6. That's a blue.
Okay, that's what he was thinking about. He was just kind of balancing whether it was worth it. But 8 damage, I think, is worth it.
It's probably worth it, even though you gave up the gauntlet. Yep. So, blue throttle with gauntlet plus Talishar, 10 damage there. Not too bad. Efficient use of his cards. People ask me why I put my arsenal kind of horizontally. That is a Hong Kong thing. As you can see, Kelvin Law does that. Ronin Renegade, Draconic Head Jab. Who do you think is winning right now?
I would say Dash. The thought process here is, I know that Dash only has a 3 life lead that's about to be even once he takes his Ronin Renegade, and basically the difference is the technical core and the double pounder. I mean, that's easily a hand worth of resources and damage.
Mm-hmm.
So the life is almost even, but the dash player is a whole hand ahead, a whole damage cycle ahead because
Yep.
of the board state.
Yeah, having the Teklo core plus an extra pounder in play. You know, we're not even seeing BIOS update. I haven't. I'm
Yeah, we
starting to
really
wonder.
haven't.
Yeah, it's like maybe we're overvaluing that card. Like maybe just boost max velocity is just better.
Yep.
All right. Ronin hits. Phoenix Flame hits. Flame Call Awakening. Searching for a Phoenix Flame because he played a red. This could be a Pouncing Link's turn.
I don't know if he's gonna get another chance to use it.
Yeah, this Phoenix Flame is going to come in for 2. Could get absorbed by the Heart or the Crown of Providence here.
Yeah, I think if anybody's considering playing Fi right now, I think you have to ask your question. This is the perfect match, right? To kind of analyze and say,
Yep.
why would you play that deck when you can play what's across on the other side of the screen? That almost everything blocks for 3. You have multiple game plans into other decks that are trying to disrupt you,
And
and
you have
it's
multiple
equally as
plans
fast.
into the same deck, so they can't even predict what you're going to do.
Right. I'm just like, if I'm trying to like do the optimal, trying to min max and be as competitive as possible, I think you really have to ask the question
Why
right
not
now, which,
dash? Yep.
well, I mean, like, which is a crazy thing because Fi was easily the top 2 decks going into Worlds, right?
Yep.
And now it's just like I honestly can say, why would you play that hero?
Mm-hmm.
But I understand if people still play it because I'm
Yep.
still playing Briar when I should not be. So.
Yeah. I play Bolton, and people say he's D tier, so it is what it is. All right, so taking the flame call here. So I expect to see armor block here. Yep, instant armor block from Kelvin. All right, Blaze Hedgehog here for 4.
Probably gonna get the mass trigger here if
Yep.
I don't see any situation where Kelvin can efficiently block this. So
Still one more card in hand here.
yep, and it would be what this would be the 4th attack to have hit, so Salt would effectively come in for 6, right?
Mm-hmm. This is going to be pretty close here. I'm wondering if that I mean, crown plus a hat or plus a card might make sense here. I mean, you already have a Technocore, right? So Kelvin cleaning up this here, saying I blocked that, please turn it sideways. So I yep. All right. 4 attacks potentially hit here.
Yeah, I think the decision at which Dash the Dash player is making his no block decisions,
Yep,
strongly signals that the Dash player really has some gas that he's about to clap back with, and that's one of my favorite things to utilize in this game is the speed at which your opponent makes a decision can more times than not give you more information than the decision itself.
exactly. Especially when you know a player is very experienced with the hero. That means they're in either a new situation or a situation where I had the Salt naturally in hand. Ooh. Salt into snap mass Salt. Oof.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very, very important, like what you said, the speed at which you make decisions often can say more. Um, I mean, we have to think a few turn cycles ahead here, right? So can Dash threaten 21 damage through a Shuko? So can he threaten 23?
Easily.
Right. But how many cards does he get back? Is the question. Basically, who is a player forced to block? Whoever's forced to block first, basically.
I think the first person to block will actually be Dash, but Dash blocks for 3.
Yep.
And I think that the game's going to develop into a 2-card hand game, and we know who wins those.
Exactly, because these pounders, like this next turn, the Dash player does not. Kelvin doesn't want the next turn to be the last turn of the game.
Right.
He needs to keep enough life so that he can at least throw one single attack on the next turn.
Yeah, and with Tekla Core, you can literally throttle for free.
Yep.
And throw 10 damage with 1 card with the current board establishment.
Yep.
So here I'm expecting a solid 20, 23 damage turn.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 26, 27 at its peak. Five's probably going to have to block with, I'm guessing, probably like 1 card. He'll clap back with 3 cards. And then Dash will go block, and then throw 1 attack for 8 to 10 with the pounders and the Tekla Core, and that's just enough to get 5 to block with 2 or 3 cards, and then just eke it out from there.
Crown of Providence here. I mean, wouldn't you have... I feel like the heart plus the crown could have blocked something somewhere.
Heart's already on the chain, so the heart was used to block the Phoenix Flame. So
yep, you're right.
Which, if you think about it, him blocking with a card plus crown is effectively about the same. But yeah, we do have a snap into another salt, which is fine. He'll probably just go to 3 here.
Yep.
But now the thing is, Fi's out of gas is the big thing to note.
Yep, not even an arsenal.
And I don't think Kelvin hasn't given him a single card, right? So he's still got 5 cards in hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is where we're gonna see it.
I don't think there's any merit to blocking here.
Unless there's a dead card.
Even if there's a dead card, how dead could it be? It could be a blue 2-cost boost card, and you could still arsenal it and do something with it the next turn, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like without an arsenal, if you rip any cards from Fi's hand, you could probably 2-3 card block, drop to 1.
Right.
Like this is something that, you know, goes through your mind and my mind, is like trying to think like 2-3 turns ahead. Like, all right, I take damage, I go to here. He takes damage, he goes to here. Then I have to block, and then he has to block, and then what does the game look like? All right.
The life to start it off.
The life total is 2 to 21, but don't let that fool you.
Yeah,
this is like a 8-card dash hand.
The quickest way for Fi to lose this game is by not blocking this card.
Yep. This should be a auto block here with the Shuko plus 2 or 3 cards. You always block Combustible Courier.
We learned that in the Singapore Calling.
Exactly. Combustible Courier basically is like Warrior's Valor. It says, if you don't block this, take another 3.
Yep.
And people block Warrior's Valor. Why don't they block Combustible Courier?
That whole tournament, they just ignored it. They were like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, what's 3 more? That's fine. All right, Fi. Time for you to do some blocking. Is this Kelvin's second turn?
Yes, it is.
So that means, yeah, Blossom of Spring was correct because the tunic would be on 2.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And it also means that the 5-player on average presented 19 damage a turn for 2 turns.
Yep. Gotta go
Of
fast.
course, that was what, 16 and then 22? Yeah.
Mhm.
But the 22 costed like all the armor, so.
Yep. This is why Fi and Benji and Ira can't play with Mask of Pouncing Links. Art of War.
Defensively.
Banish, draw 2, +1 for the attack action cards defending here. Here we go. That's one way to get your 2 blocks to block for 3.
Good block.
Good job.
But either
now
way,
you have no cards now. 1 card left.
Yep. So like I said, this is going to get down because he's still going to leak a lot of damage here because Kelvin still has 3 cards in hand. So there's, Fi is going to easily drop to 8, maybe 7 here.
Mhm.
And then hit with 1 attack, it gets blocked really easily. And then you get pounded for another 8. And then that's how Dash will get away with this game.
Yep. And there's no possibility of really bricking with the Technocore in play.
Right. I think the only way Dash loses is if they draw 3 blue T-bones. But even that's pretty decent.
Yep. I mean, the Talishar is going to be on 2 rust counters, so I mean, his damage floor is only so low.
Yep. I don't know if anybody knew, but for the first 3 swings, Talishar is better than Searing Emberblade.
That is true.
Oh, another one. Jeez. And this one is very likely to hit, which will give +3 on the next one.
This has to be a 3 block in hand.
Yep.
That would be nice to have. I mean, the speed
Ultra
again, the speed at which you block here.
But this also shows why blocking the first one was so important, because if he did not, this one would be coming in for 7 and you would be in the exact same situation.
Yep.
Yep. And it's not a 3 block, so the question is, do we have a maximum velocity to close it out? That's the real question.
1 float right now. Nope. Max
Oh no,
velocities
yeah,
cost
we're
2.
1 short. 1 short.
We can pitch Talishar here.
At worst.
That's not worth it, is it?
Yeah.
Pitch max velocity. Okay. Still leaving him with 1 card. Not that bad. 1 card. Never's gonna threaten lethal here.
So Dash will have to block
for 3
with 1 card, which is fine. And then
if the attack is
Dash
really
will...
weak, he could just block for the perfect
Yeah,
Techno card.
1 card in Teklo, and then clap back with another 15, 18, and that'll close it out.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna see one of those flawless victors. It's like Technocore pops, Pounder pops, Pounder pops.
Yep.
Heart is busted up. No armor. Talishar is broken. No arsenal.
Yep, Calvin's just trying to piece it together, make sure he doesn't miss anything.
Pick the right card to block, basically, because mathematically, there's a correct choice here. It just may not be obvious what it is. Okay, Here we go. Blocking for 4. Oh,
Another one.
here we go. Red combustible couriers all day long.
Insane.
All right, 8 block here and 2 cards left. This is a very, very dead buy. 8 block here.
Yep.
Payload. GG. Well played from Kelvin Law there. Taking out man on Phi. All right, that means we have, on the other side, Alan won his match, and we're going to have a Dash versus Dash Grand Finals. All right, so jump back to our cams and talk about that game. All right, guys, welcome back to the Battle Hardened Hong Kong PTI event. We just finished watching the semifinals where we saw Kelvin Law take down Manhung on Phi with Dash. Any thoughts on the game, Nathan?
I thought it was a great game. The main thing was both players played it phenomenally. There was no part of the game where it was like, oh, it was very clear that this should have happened over this. I think this game, other than the perfect play, came down to the 5 player had the choice to go first or second. Chose what I believe to be correct in that it's going to be a race. You go second, you start with the 16 damage, which is exactly what happened. However, he was very hardly punished by that turn 1 or turn 0 Teklo Pounder placement, which ultimately I think is the thing that got it there.
Mm-hmm. So 3 copies of Spark of Genius, 2 copies of Pounder gives 5 copies, which is going to be about 30% to start with one of those.
Yep, probably higher than that, actually.
And then if you include the Teklo cores, you're probably creeping up to 45%. So you're taking a pretty big risk that the Dash player starts with something. Like, literally the worst that could happen is just Arsenal Pass, right? Because they're never going to waste a Pounder charge on turn 0, right? So, I mean, it's a calculated risk. It's like 55% of the games, you don't have a turn 0 play. 45% of games, you do. I think
you choose to go second because you go with the higher number.
Yeah, I think he made the right choice. It's just, you know, if you play that 100 times, going second would have been better there. Anyways, it seems like the only thing that could stop a dash is
another dash.
Another dash. However, I don't think these 2 dashes think alike.
No, they don't.
I know Kelvin Law likes to play way more aggressively, and Alan, as we've seen him already, likes to assemble hyperdrivers and punch people in the face with mechanoids. I think we have a really, really interesting grand finals. Let's just jump into that right now.
Let's do it.
Kelvin Law versus Alan Lau, grand finals of the Battle Hardened Hong Kong PTI event. Let's do it. All right, guys, welcome to the grand finals. As you can see, it is a dash mirror. But as you might also be able to see, these 2 players do not have the same starting items. These players do not play with their deck on the same side. These 2 players do not play with their equipment in the same side. In fact, Kelvin is like, Heart and Gauntlet, let's just switch the places anyways, whatever. All right, this is going to be good. And we're going to see which like, somebody has to be wrong here, right?
So I think it came to me what's actually like. So you in the dash mirror, typically the person who goes the least amount of aggressive typically wins because everything blocks for 3 and everybody's a deck, and the possibility of fatigue is always present, right? We kind of saw that in the Philly finals where one went Hanabi Blaster and then the other one went Teklo Pistol, and the Teklo Pistol, it wasn't even close, I don't think.
Yep.
But what I'm realizing thinking about Alan's deck is you have a situation where you have a setup that can just blow you out in 1 turn. So if you don't overly aggressive like race it, then you're just going to let him set it up.
Yep.
And I don't know how that's going to go well for the dash with the induction chamber that kind of is operating at a slower speed. I mean, we'll find out, but
So of note, Alan was second or third seed, and Calvin was one seed below him. So Alan did get the choice of first or second, and he opted to go first. Early Goliath Gauntlet pop here. Okay. Starting things off really quick here. Just hoping to catch Alan with a no block here. Or, I mean, what do you think is the purpose of this? It
Well,
seems...
Alan's going first, so
yeah, Alan went first. Yes.
yeah, he's just trying to put Goliath Gauntlet on the first on hit effect that he can.
Right.
To be honest, I mean, this is probably the same situation that everybody in this tournament is they don't know how to adjust for this strategy yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand new strategy. Now, I will say, the last time we saw this, most recently, was like, Tao Shard Jet Dash when it first came up in Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh man, nobody could beat it. But then they realized, oh yeah, you just fatigue it, right? So this mech dash might have a it obviously isn't fatigue. That's not the answer, but it might have a similar counter that gets figured out in a couple weeks or so. So just keep that in mind.
I'm thinking there's a lot of fragility here. It's very similar to actually Bolton. You can't lose your Courage of Blade Hold, right? Whereas this is even more extreme for Dash. You can't lose any of your equipment here.
Right.
So things like Exposed to the Elements, Tumultai, Shatter, T-Bone, like enough T-Bones would also do it as well, yeah.
Right. Well, Smashing Good Time. So
Smashing Good Time, yep.
In Worlds, I actually
Arc
did it
Smash.
twice.
Yep.
Yeah. I flashed in with Creepers, Smashing Good Time twice at Worlds, and got some items that way. On my Briar list, and it's just super effective. And I think that's going to be one of the strategies is making sure that you do it in a either stacked or like surprising way, so like creepersing in the Smashing Good Time, or like on a dominated attack, possibly adding the Smashing Good Time could be the answer.
Yep. Okay, so I'm noticing something here is Calvin is not setting up an arsenal, so I mean, popping the Goliath Gauntlet that early, not setting up an arsenal means he's just playing 4-card hands every single turn. I don't know if that's because it feels bad to play against, Exodia Dash and like have to set up a turn, right? But I think that might be necessary. Because I mean, who cares if you give them tempo? All he wanted to do was Spark a Genius, grab a Hyperdriver anyways, right? So you give him 4 cards or 2 cards, it's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same principle with Bolton. It's like, I wanted to block anyways. You're just playing into my plan here. So I would like to see Calvin set up a little bit more. I think overall his damage output would be a little bit higher. All right, we see our Dash player on the right already set up with 2 Hyperdrivers here. You know what? If he has multiple color Hyperdrivers, do you think, like, if he's... I guess you never would find a blue, right? Because if you...
Yeah, you would only run yellow.
Yeah, if you boost the... boost the Fate Foreseen or whatever, you could just,
gone.
Like... Yeah, you would just... So I don't think you're on 9 Hyperdrivers, but you're probably on, like, 5 or 6, I'm guessing. All right, let's see how Kelvin wants to play out his offense here. High speed impact. Gets the next thing Dominate if it hits. I don't think Alan really cares, especially with the Fate Foreseen, he doesn't care. It's like, not a Hyperdriver, not a mech. Go to the bottom. I actually want to see how Bolton plays into this dash.
I
That'd
mean,
be interesting. Yeah.
it just seems like it has a salt. Like you can't
Yeah.
fatigue it because you just wait. You just stop boosting and wait on a high octane.
It's resilient against
And
Icelander as well, which,
yep,
huh.
it's actually like really interesting.
Yep. All right, heart activation from Kelvin Law here. Gonna fire the pistol, gonna chamber it up, and proceed with his 2 cards here. He also has 2 floats, so maybe load. Single load
Now,
here.
now it makes sense.
Spark? Nope.
This is why they made Buckle.
Hmm.
Buckle destroys the equipment.
Yep. There you
It
go.
all makes sense now. So you got Buckle, you got Smash the Baton as a good
Shatter.
counter. Yeah,
Yep.
Shatter.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tumultai.
yep, all those. So those
Exposed to the elements.
buy your buckles now.
Yep. Imperial Warhorn, I think.
It says item, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yep. Holy cow. That's a 1-card counter. It just sits on the field.
That's a legendary. All right. I don't think Kelvin's done enough damage here.
Well, we only have 2 hyperdrivers out, so like
Mhm.
Kelvin's not in a terrible place, but he does need to pick up the speed. He really needs to find a high octane and get that damage going.
Yep. I think a deck similar to what we saw Shing piloting might be good here, like kind of that mid range with high octanes, Tomofendals, Spark of Geniuses.
Right.
Something like that might perform pretty well here. You know, one thing also is like, did they take out Pulse Wave Harpoon in the mirror? Or sorry, take out Max Velocity in the mirror, because if you get Pulse Waved, you probably can't Max Velocity. I don't know. Just a thought.
I don't know. I mean, at worst, it's just a boostable card, right?
We haven't seen a Max Velocity all day, right? So
No, we haven't.
that's making me think, like, are they... I mean, half the games we've watched have been Alan playing this
Well, we've seen them.
mecha
They've
deck.
just never been played.
Yeah.
They've been pitched or blocked or
Yep,
or whatever the case may be.
Mhm. Interesting. All right, more pistol shenanigans here. Alan quickly taking 2 there. Kelvin reacting with the chamber. Loading the pistol back up.
The thing about the pistols is coming in at an awkward 2, so it's not very efficient to throw a whole 3 block in front of it.
Yep. Throttle. Coming in for 4 here. T-Bone jumping in front of it, taking 1. Payload on the end here.
That's pretty good.
6 damage here. Taking 4, dropping to 23. 2 cards in hand. I'm guessing that is
Let
a
me guess,
hyperdriver
hyperdriver.
indirectly.
Yep.
Or directly. It is a hyperdriver. Pitching high
And
octane, unfortunately.
$5 says he already has the mech in arsenal, and that's why he blocked with the equipment. We're gonna see the double equipment block this turn, and he's gonna play it next turn.
Yep. The the only awkward thing about hyperdriver is that it costs 1, so you need a 2
They had
card
to
hand
make
to
it
play.
fair.
Yep.
Yeah, they had to make it fair.
They did. Yep. And I think Kelvin is pretty nervous here because this is a pretty face up here that Alan has the combo or is going to be blocking for the rest of the game or rest of the turn cycles until he finds it. And his opponent is still at 23. No Arsenal, no Glad Gauntlet. Means his damage output is kind of capped here. I mean, it's very possible that like, if we think about it very logically, though, Alan's only done 2 damage here. It's not like the Bolton combo where you heal as well. I guess
Right.
directly you do heal. You get a mech. Never mind.
Yeah, and you get to block with it.
Hmm.
So you heal 13
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah. I'm jelly. All
Yeah.
right. 0 to 60 here. So he's starting to block these 2 attacks here with cards from hand, indicating he, like, if so on your combo turn, you actually don't need 5 cards like other combo decks do. You can block with 3-4 cards, kind of like a Sai. You can block with 3-4 cards, courage into blood in her hands
Yeah, you
here.
just want one. You just
Yeah,
want one.
with a boost card.
And noted he's not even probably going to boost here because he doesn't want to boost away his mech.
Yep.
So he's just going to load up everything that he can and like probably just call it a day.
Yep.
He might like shoot pistol for 2 or something.
Yep. Okay, playing out in
Or play another hyperdrive.
a fourth hyperdrive. So that is a yellow one. Coming in with 2 counters here. So that means that Arsenal card is not the Mechanoid, right? Meaning
That's correct. Or he definitely would have played it.
Probably a D reactor. So I guess also on the combo turn, you don't want cards in hand because if you boost and fail to boost and get an action point back, you have 3 cards you didn't use. So
Right.
you actually want to block fully and then mech as your only card.
Yep.
After you boost, maybe not. We'll see.
And the difference between the 3 hyperdrivers and the 4 hyperdrivers is you can play the mech off of a 0 cost card. And no card in hand. So you can literally just 0, like a 0 to 60.
And then
play
4
the,
hyperdrivers trigger.
Yep. And then get it.
Yep. I mean, all this blocking means Calvin's chipping in damage here. I guess the real indicator is we're going to see a snap block with the Teklo Heart from Alan.
Right. We're just waiting for that equipment to go in.
Yep. And then in which case, like, do you... I think Calvin is having to, like, figure this out on the fly as well. Just like us.
Yep. I think he needs a high octane is what he needs, and he needs to push as much as he can as fast as he can.
Yep. Because if we think of the life totals here, it's actually, I mean, Calvin's above 40 because of his armor, but then Alan is actually, in the 30s with the mech armor. So, I mean, Calvin might be ahead by 10, but then, the mech attacks for 6, multiple times. So, even off 0 cards as well.
Not only that, but Kelvin's also burning through his deck much faster than
Yes,
Alan is.
much quicker.
I think this is the dash build that gives you the advantage in the mirror.
Yes.
And typically, if there's ever a deck that can be built in a way to where it has an advantage in the mirror, that is more likely than not the better version.
Yep. I'm a little worried for Alan right now, though. Like, it's taking him a long time to find his combo. Look, he's been blocking with his whole hand, turn after turn after turn after turn, while keeping the same card in the arsenal. Is there any world where that arsenal is the mech and he's just searching for another card? Here we go. First max velocity here for 10.
No, that if it was the mech, he would have already played it, right? He would just keep that 0 to 60 and then just play it. So there's no way it's the card in Arsenal. I think the card in Arsenal is a high octane. He realizes that when he gets the mech out, he has to end the game quickly.
This is very, very bad here. Huh. All right, he just took a high octane for 10 there, dropped to 10. Drawing back up. If he does not find his combo, his mech.
He needs
Like
it. He needs it
now,
this turn.
he needs
Yeah.
it this turn. He's okay. Kelvin decides, hey, you have no cards left. Accelerators, pistol shot. Because the difference between 8 and 10 here is actually pretty huge. Because Kelvin, he knows that Alan needs to keep a card. Probably 2. He has to keep a boost card plus the mech, which means he only has 6 block this turn, which means Kelvin only needs to deal 14 damage here. 15, I guess, including the heart. 16, including the bracers. Do the gloves block for 1?
They do. They block
Okay,
for 1.
so if Calvin can present 16 damage here, which I think he can with this Teclacore. This is the downside of relying on a card that's only a 3 of in your deck. There's something to be said for consistency and redundancy in your deck. Is there any way to tutor the mech with Spark of Genius, or?
You can spark, but it costs 8.
Okay.
Right, because it's 2x, right?
Mhm.
It's 2x the cost, and it costs
Yeah.
4.
Hmm.
Maybe the Arsenal card is a 0 for 60, and he's just waiting on the card, and then a free way.
No,
or
there's a fate.
do you
Okay.
react? Okay.
I mean, there's no reason to play the fate until now, because
Well, he
Is
did
it
not
like-
put the card on the bottom, which is an indication that
Mhm.
I think he has it, right? Because if you didn't have it and that was not it, you would put it to the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm. You're saying that the top card of Alan's deck is the mech.
No, I'm saying he has it in his hand,
Mhm.
and so he is just not opting to search for it.
Sure. We could
Or
actually
that is
we
it.
we,
Yeah,
we could
either one.
actually get to a point where even though Alan has a mech, the breakpoints start
Yeah, he can't
demanding
play it,
cards. Very interesting here. I mean, very rarely do you see a mirror match with this lopsided life totals. Other than Bolton mirrors, but we won't talk about that most degenerate match. Pulsewife Harpoon is a super backbreaking card here. Oh man.
Dangerous. Just make him block with it.
All right. Core paid for the zipper hit and the throttle there. I think they're just checking some math here. All right. Resource here for having to reveal High Octane and the Mecha card. Oh no. And the boost card, right? Oh no.
Yep.
Good. Oh no.
Yeah,
And it's
you make him block with it. Yep.
oh no. Backbreaking here. And that's probably game, right?
Yeah, that's 100% game because there's no way you can, with the pistol shots being at 2, there's no way that you are going to be able to leverage finding another one. There just isn't.
Yep.
So it turns out trusty Rusty Dash is the better one.
Yeah. I think there's also a consideration here that Alan did find his mech really, really slowly.
That's true.
I think every combo player knows that sometimes the cards just don't line up. And that is the price that you have to pay sometimes. Or they could have just been hiding because of that exude confidence mat. I don't know. All right. Is there any world where Alan can fatigue Kelvin here?
No, not with pistol and induction chamber.
Yeah. Because 2 and 2 split there.
Yeah, if it was town.
Oh, Pounder.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. There's. Okay.
This is a window. This
This
is
is
a
a
window.
window. Yep.
Did he draw it though? Is the question.
He'd have to draw it right now.
And the problem was he did not opt that card. That was probably not it. And
I think Alan may be a little caught off guard here that he has a full. Like, you don't expect to have a full grip here, do you?
no.
He's like, do I start boosting and going? Like, what do you do here? I guess it completely depends on your hand, right? I guess you start by loading your pistol, and then we go from there.
I actually really like this play because if you put him on like Better Have It, and he doesn't have it, well now if he starts boosting, and he hits the one of 2 copies left.
Oh, that's
then,
so
like,
brilliant! Oh my goodness.
yeah. So like I actually like
Here we
really
go.
like this.
I think this is a strategy pivot here from Alan. And he boosted that card close to his body, I think. Or
I think it was a desperation attempt to be.
oh
honest.
no!
Oh, no.
No! Oh no! He boosted the mecha. Uh-oh.
If he would have opted that card down, he would have on the Fate for Scenes.
Yep.
He would have drawn that card off of the high octane.
That's why he was pausing, because he knew he was gonna boost away his mech.
And very likely
no.
could have came back because he had the high octane with
the draw.
the mech combo.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
Oh. Wait, the high octane was gonna draw. He knew what he was gonna draw with high octane. The mech was 1 card down, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. If he double faded. Yeah. He double faded.
Yeah, because he faded twice, but kept the same card on top because he already had the mech.
Yep.
If he would have put it to the bottom, he would have drawn the mech on the high octane.
Oh my
and
God.
actually been in the game.
Yep. All right, Pulse Wave Harpoon here. Show me 3 cards. 0 to 60, probably the most valuable here. Gonna go block there, taking 1. Dash players cannot complain when they get pulse waved.
That's a fact. Doesn't feel too good, huh?
All right, 4 resources floating. All right, show me 4 cards. Oh, he boosted a sync. Well, he still has action points. Not too bad. Actually, it lines up with how much he has floating.
It's actually kind of genius that Alan here is actually playing Harpoon, basically as a way to just steal tempo.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, I'm gonna like present a bunch of damage and like persuade you to block. It's no, I'm gonna take the card from your hand and put it on the combat chain.
Yep.
And you're not gonna hit me with it.
I think there's a world where Alan lives another turn here. Although that Pounder is kind of...
Yeah, he'll live one more turn, but
the Pounder heart, like the induction chamber is already loaded as well.
Yeah. He needed that mech on that high octane draw is when he needed it.
Yep.
But if he had think about it. If he had this exact hand, but the mech to go with it.
Oh, this is a game.
The mech would be attacking right now for 20 more damage.
Yes. All right. Heart. Throttle. T-bone.
He's safe.
Pistol, 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 pistol. Take 8? Question mark. Almost certainly take 8 here, right?
For sure. You have to present something. You gotta get those cards.
I think he's just possibly thinking Yeah,
As
yeah.
you're
Go ahead.
dedicated to the plan of getting Alan to boost away his last copy.
Mm. Like these hyperdrivers can give you resources, but they require cards indirectly.
Right.
So, like a pounder here is worth way more than these hyperdrivers here.
Yep.
I think he's just thinking on the Crown of Providence. If I had to guess. Because there's 4 pistol shots, as we can see with the dice in the middle, coming across here. A very tense grand finals here. A match that there are many, you know one of the things I talked about earlier was like dash versus dash. How are you going to get an edge in a matchup that I wrongly thought was like just a math game.
Right.
But Kelvin and Alan both displaying a lot of skill here, showing us that there's a lot more to think about than just load your items with your blues and fire them off. This has actually become a very, very, very interesting mirror here. What do you think Kelvin's thinking about? I mean,
I think he's thinking
here?
about the risk associated with crowning. I think is what he's trying to go over. I think he has a mediocre hand.
Yep.
And he's trying to say, okay, well, if I sink this blue,
and it becomes even worse.
Yeah, and I think he's probably just gonna take the mid value there and not block with the crown, if I had to guess.
Okay, he decided to block with the Foundry Heart for 1. I think the block value on the heart might be worth more, but okay. T-Bone here. Pounder trigger. Okay, blocking for 4, taking 1 here. So for Alan to have a turn, he has to keep 2 cards, right? Assuming he draws the mech, he has to have 2 cards, right?
Yes, if it's not an arsenal, yep.
So if Kelvin can get a single card... Sorry, he needs to get 2 more cards here. Throttle jumping in front here. This indicates to Kelvin that he does not have the cards, or else he would have taken 2 here. I guess it doesn't matter because he's going to come in 2-2 here. Either way. I think you have to activate Heart here as Kelvin, right? Yep. Okay. Okay. Load. And Alan lives another turn?
With 2 cards?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I don't think he has it. But
nope.
the good part here is if he arsenals a 0 cost attack.
No, he had 2 hyperdrivers.
Oh, that's terrible.
So literally 5 hyperdrivers here, 1 on the bottom. So he is playing red and yellow hypers.
I think this is the turn that Alan goes down because I don't.
Yeah, 5 card hand here, and that pistol just coming in for 2 here. No armor left to block. There's no way he doesn't get 3 cards here. So the only way for Alan to get back in this is blocks with 3 cards, arsenals a card, blocks with 3 cards, and then plays it out. And being at 4 means he can start the turn with a pistol shot. Pulse Wave Harpoon here. Gonna show him 1 here. Only needs to show him 1, right?
No, that's the second time he's boosted. So 2.
Oh, second time he's boosted. Okay, my bad. 2 cards here.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. You should only show him 1 because all he did was pistol shoot.
Mhm.
I mean, that one's 2.
Oh, he's just blocking here. Oh, he's like, I'm showing you 2 cards. I'm blocking 2 cards here. And
Yep,
that's
it.
game there. Payload ends another game there. GG. Calvin Law is your Hong Kong Battle Hardened PTI event winner. Congratulations to him. Well played and well fought. All right, let's jump back to our cameras and talk about that. All right, guys. We just saw Kelvin Law take down Alan Lau in the grand finals in a Dash versus Dash mirror. Very, very interesting game. 2 radically different decks, actually.
Yep.
That was actually a game that could have gone either way, and I think actually there was a lot of decisions that were made that were not intuitive, and I think they both kind of had to kind of feel out what to do in the matchup. And you know, if Alan got that that mecha card just a little bit faster, if he opted a little bit differently, you know, that game could have been like, I mean, the mecha would have took us into Dash versus Dash like Supreme late game, right? So
right,
pretty crazy. Takeaways from this tournament.
In a format where Pulse Wave Harpoon is legal, just because you got a card don't mean you get to keep it. So that's I mean, that's such a crazy card. In our video I put BIOS Update as the best mech card. I think Pulse Wave Harpoon is the best card in the set, not just the best mech card.
Yeah, we didn't actually see any BIOS updates today, and I mean, just boost might just be better, right? Rather than taking the gamble that you flip an item. Just use your heart and then spark a genius for whatever you want, right? Why do you need to risk it?
That's it.
All right. Okay, I guess this will kind of close it out here. We just want to say thank you once again to Home Run, a fabulous card shop in Hong Kong, for hosting this Battle Hardened. When I was in Hong Kong, I used to go there for events and everything, and I know the owner and the employees there. They're great people. If you're in Hong Kong, check them out. In addition to that, we'd like to thank FABLEGAMINGK HK for giving us the VODs to commentate on. And yep, finally, we'd just like to thank LSS for making a wonderful game and for releasing the Dynasty cards. They have definitely shaken up the metagame, and you know, this was I think this is like kind of the first taste of like high-level competitive Dynasty CC. You know,
other than Phil,
which was like literally a day after. So
yeah, it was like right after. Nobody had time.
Yep. So I think you know, this is a good look at the metagame, at the possibilities, and I think, you know, the metagame will evolve from here. All right. Anything else to say? Or we're gonna close it out. All right. This has been Josh Lau and Nathan Crawford from TheCardGuyz. We hope that you have a good day. Take care. See ya.